from the River Street Ale House.
Starting in 3, 2, 1. Access allowed.
Welcome to Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge on the App State Sports Network. Coming up, 60 minutes of Mountaineer football conversation and your chance to hear from head coach Dowell Loggains. Mountaineer Talk is brought to you by Howard Hanna Allen Tate Real Estate. Hey Mountaineers, Howard Hanna Allen Tate Real Estate is the official realtor of App State Athletics and the #1 real estate company in the Carolinas. Call Howard Hanna Allen Tate Real Estate today for all your real estate needs. Pepsi. Grab a Pepsi and some friends and get in the game. Pepsi, the official soft drink of your App State Mountaineers. And by UNC Health Blue Ridge, moving healthcare forward. Now, to get things underway, here's the voice of the Mountaineers, Adam Witten.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Mountaineer Talk here from River Street Ale House as we talk App State football from 6 to 7 p.m. Mountaineers back at home this Saturday to face the Marshall Thundering Herd. Back-to-back home games to close out the regular season for the Apps. 2:30 is the kickoff, and we're excited to talk some more App State football as the Mountaineers come back to the Rock with head coach Dowell Loggains. Also, our player guests coming up tonight, we're going to have DeNigel Cooper from the defensive line and Cayden Sweatt from the offensive line. We're going in the trenches on tonight's show. All right, if you want to be a part of the festivities, you can do so in a variety of ways. Hashtag Mountaineer Talk on Twitter. MountaineerTalk@gmail.com is the email address. 828-278-9850 is our text line. And those of you watching on our video stream, if you leave your question in the comments section, we will get to as many as we can in the second segment of our show tonight. Coach Loggains' comments tonight brought to you by Blue Ridge Energy, powering a brighter future. Coach, good evening to you. How are you? What's practice been like so far this week?
Doing well. Excited to be here tonight. Practice has been good. Weather's been good. Energized. Had a good one today, and excited about our preparation.
You know, I remember Jerry Moore used to always say this in the locker room or after a game, win or loss, no matter what's on the scoreboard. He said, if you didn't use those 60 minutes to learn something, you wasted your time out there. So what did your guys, or what do you hope that they learned from Saturday's game? Because every game, regardless of result, is always a learning opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very, very, very broad question. I don't know if we have 2 hours to talk about the things you learned in those things. But every position group learned something. Each individual learned something. You learn the value of the turnover margin, the fast start. You know, the doing the little things right. When you play a really talented team, the margin for error is very small, and you start to understand what it's supposed to look like when you play a good team and you don't play the way you want to. But you can also learn from watching others and understanding what it's supposed to be and what we're all trying to get this thing to.
Yep. So as the guys try to bounce back this week, what can oftentimes be the best medicine for that bounce back and getting things back quickly? Is it just getting back on the field to practice?
Yeah, it's as fast as possible.
Yeah.
You put it to bed, you watch it, you go through the hardest day after, like those moments right after the game and the locker room shuts, that it kind of sinks in, like how the game went, good or bad. It's either celebrated or it's people are upset, and then you got to get through that in that 24 hours, and then you have to relive it again with your coaches, and you got to watch all the tape, and then you got to take the constructive criticism, you got to take the coaching. The coaches are critiquing ourselves as well and talking about where we need to be better, and that's what happens on a team. It's not just the coaches like getting on the players all the time. It's also like, hey, this is where we need to be better in our preparation. These are things we can improve as a coaching staff, and we look at it as a staff as well first, and then go meet with our players. But as soon as that thing's put to bed and you get back out of practice, Monday's normally slow after a loss just because it's still, you just watch the practice tape, then you split that day between the next opponent. Mondays are hard days, just because now you're practicing the opponent, but and just getting back on that practice field, getting back with your teammates and kind of recharging. And by Tuesday, they're they're ready to go to the next one.
Yeah. I think regardless of what a team's record is or what happened on the previous game, this time of year, it's always, you got to kind of push through these last few weeks of the year. You got to try to finish strong no matter what the case is. In your experience, regardless of where a team stands overall, what is the key to maximizing the way that they can perform at this time of year when you've gone through a grind of a off season and camp and 10 games of a regular season to make sure that you've still got enough, juice in the tank to finish this thing out the right way?
Yeah, it's about connection. It's also about measuring where your team's at. Like, hey, where do we need to pull back? Do we need to shorten practice? Are we okay still going in pads? How much good on good are we doing to simulate the speed of the game versus like now it's the old, if I've got 8 hours to chop down a tree, I'm not just going to go start swinging. I'm going to sharpen the blade for 4 hours and then go swing the axe. So there's a lot that goes into November football, and it's the most important month of the year because it's about finish, and it's about how you finish and your team and the connection they have with each other.
Yeah. We saw some guys late in the game that I want to ask you about because we haven't had a chance to really call their name just yet. But on kick returns, we saw a young man by the name of Trey Nicholson who is just lightning fast. We saw him return a couple of kicks. For those that got their first introduction to him on Saturday, what can you tell us about that young man?
Yeah, great young person, and him being out there was earned. And I guess he was on the team before we got here. And then he left the team, and then when we're getting back in this thing, and he ran track here as well, and he is extremely fast, great kid, hard worker, and we'd had a walk-on tryout, and he came out there, and he's short. I like to stand next to him because I look tall compared to him, but you saw his speed, and we're like, man, we got to find a role to get him out there, but we've never seen him tackled live. Never seen it. So he looks good on kickoff return, all those things. Kid works his tail off, and you're always a little bit nervous about ball security. I've never seen him take a hit. He's never been tackled in front of us because we got him late in fall camp. But, the way the game turned out, it was like, hey, let's put him back there. He's earned this opportunity. We knew he had dynamic speed and just the juice, and the sideline was so excited, even in a tough game, to watch him go out there and compete. It was awesome.
Yeah. Another guy who we saw, he's been out there before, but we saw him catch his first pass on Saturday, Dylan Galloway, a young tight end.
Dylan Galloway's going to be a good player. And I actually, after practice yesterday, we called the group up, and Coach Yurchek's just wearing him out during practice, and he's hard on him. And I told him, hey, look, at some point you got to be so fired up about your coach coaching as hard as he is, because eventually you're going to be a junior, senior, and it's going to happen like that. And all of a sudden you're going to be in your third year, and coach is going to be yelling at some freshman, and you're going to be like, man, he used to get on me like that too. But it's because we see something special in you, and we think he's going to be a really good football player. He's done a nice job. A true freshman. To get to the point right now in the season where he loses 8 Cummings, and he's ready to come in and kind of fill a role at tight end because he's in that 3-man rotation now, the third guy, and DZ had a couple things going on. So for him to be able to get out there and do what he's doing, really proud of him. He's going to be a good player here.
Yeah. All right, a couple of guys who we got to see get into the act on Saturday, and we'll be hearing a lot more from them, whether it's this year or in years to come with this program. All right, we're just getting started on tonight's show. It's Mountaineer Talk with you until 7 o'clock as App State returns home on Saturday to face the Marshall Thundering Herd. Always an important game when those two get together, especially now as conference mates in the Sun Belt. Coming up next, we will get to your questions for the coach, so go ahead and fire away, and we'll get to as many as we can in the few minutes we have in our second segment. Hey, Mountaineers, Howard Hanna Allen Tate Real Estate is the official realtor of App State Athletics and the #1 real estate company in the Carolinas. Call Howard Hanna Allen Tate Real Estate today for all your real estate needs. Your questions and a preview of Saturday's opponent, the Marshall Thundering Herd. All to come as we roll on from River Street Ale House with more of Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge, right after this. future. Glad to have everybody with us here tonight at River Street Ale House. We'll get to some of your question. Coach, let's start with a question on Facebook from Dave, and he just asked for the key to just keeping everybody focused and locked in. I know it's been a tough stretch, but how do you work on making sure everyone stays focused and locked in the way that you want?
Well, it starts with two of the guys that are here tonight to speak after I do. It's the character of your locker room, and even we're normally when we break it down, we let our strength coach say a message, a coach will say a message, but we're really putting it now on these guys. It's November, it's their football team. Going forward, it needs to be a player-led football team, and you just keep educating them on what it takes to win and what winning looks like, and so just those guys really stepping up, taking leadership as well, and you're positive. You're positive, and you keep telling them what's coming. And even right now in the moment, it's hard when you lose a game and you've gone on a streak like we have. That's unacceptable, and it starts with us as coaches. But you keep selling the vision. You keep vision casting, and when those guys, they can see it. They see what's coming down the line, and so you keep selling that, and you keep practicing hard, and you understand that Rome wasn't built overnight, but it was built every day. So, and our kids understand that.
Yeah. Christy asked a question about visiting teams coming up to the Rock, and we know, I think this is more of just not just a coming to the Rock question. I think this is an overall question. JMU is talking about it. It's, these guys, I guess, have to learn a little bit about the fact that teams circle App State on their calendar all the time. It's a big game for everyone, and if they get a chance to check off the opportunity to win at the Rock, that's a big deal, and guys have to be prepared for that.
Yeah, people had tried to educate me on that as well, and you don't know it till you're in it. You don't. And everyone said, hey, we get circled. They want to make it blackouts. They want to do all these things, whiteouts, all this other stuff. But our brand is powerful. And even when we're down right now, and hadn't it been the last 4 weeks that we wanted to be, the brand still is powerful, and people understand what it is, and so everyone they get excited when they see that logo, that block A, and they want to go, to be the man, you got to beat the man, and we're not where we want to be right now, but we will be back, and we will get there sooner than later. But we understand that we are marked men, and we understand that the people really challenge themselves and circle this one to come play here.
Yeah. All right. What's the message that you're trying to get across to the fans right now? This is an opportunity. You had your press conference earlier this week. This is an opportunity, obviously, to talk to the folks here at Ale House and watching and listening to us across the network. But, what do you want people to kind of know about, hey, here's just a glimpse at just how hard these guys are working and how much they're focused on making sure to finish things the way they want.
Yeah, I would tell the fans, I can promise you this, that we have the right type kids. And those kids in the locker room work their tails off. And football is really important to them. And football at this place is really important to them. And representing that brand, this brand is really important to them as well. They're wired the right way. And I can promise you that no one hurts more than that football building when we don't perform the way we want to perform, and we let a lot of people down because we know how prideful this place is, and we completely understand that. That's why we're all here. That's why we all came here, because of that, the passion of this place, and to hang with us and understand and be there for us. And better times are coming. They're coming, and they need to come this week. And we need everyone this week to show up and be loud, because it's going to be a big recruiting weekend. And every time we only get 7 or 8 opportunities to play at the Rock. So let's make sure that it's what it's supposed to be, and we understand our responsibility. There's some show business that comes into this, an entertainment profession, but it's also a production business as well. So we understand our role in that. Hang with us. Believe in these kids. These kids work their tail off for that A, and that hasn't. And no one hurts more than they do when we don't win a game and they let our fans down.
Yeah. I'll give you a chance to brag on a couple of the guys that are going to join us here tonight. You mentioned that it's guys like this that show the character and the leadership. But Cayden Sweatt, DeNigel Cooper, guys who have been so good on the line from start to finish this year. How much do you lean on guys like that have had such good seasons?
Yeah, I absolutely. Not just now, but they need to be thrust into leadership positions at an early age. When we first got here, Cayden was about 3rd on the depth chart, but it's about resiliency, it's about hard work, it's about showing up every day, and then all of a sudden you earn a starting spot. You see him with a 0 over there right there.
He's like, go on.
He normally doesn't hear this. He only hears like, hey, what were you thinking right there? But No, he's earned the right to be here, and it's important for us to put the guys that do things the right way, the guys that the fans can be really proud of, and is we want to be the face of the franchise. Now, normally we're not talking about offensive, defensive linemen being faces of the franchise, but these are two guys that do things the right way, and Cayden has earned the role he's in, and then DeNigel's a young guy with a huge upside. And I shouldn't be saying that because some teams listening right now, it's going to be on Twitter about, hey, we need to go look at this guy's PFF or something, try to steal him from us. But he's wired the right way. He's a great kid. He's got an unbelievable smile. He's a good football player, and both these guys are going to be the reason. You say, like, hey, why is it going to change? Why are we going to get this thing right? Because we're going to get it right because we got kids like this. Mm-hmm. These two guys set the bar. We're going to continue to raise the bar. We got to do a good job as a coaching staff, make sure we always put these two guys and these type players in a leadership role, because they're going to be the reasons why this thing flips.
Can't wait to get to talk to those two gentlemen a little bit later on in the show. That's coming up at the bottom of the hour. Coming up next, though, we will talk about Saturday's opponent, the Marshall Thundering Herd, coming to Boone Saturday at 2:30. Since 1981, Mountaineer Mania has been Boone's one-stop shop for all your App State gear. Largest selection of tailgating supplies, hats, and one-of-a-kind apparel. Mountaineer Mania has something for everyone. Alumni-owned and operated. Make sure your next trip to Boone includes a visit to Mountaineer Mania. More of Mountaineer Talk from River Street Ale House coming up after these messages. To the show, it is Mountaineer Talk coming to you from River Street Ale House. Our show is presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge. App State and Marshall coming up at 2:30 on Saturday, and we're here to talk about it with the head coach of the Mountaineers, Dowell Loggains. His comments brought to you by Blue Ridge Energy, powering a brighter future. All right, Coach, let's talk Marshall. They are 5-5 on the season, and they're coming in off a win over Georgia State in Atlanta, 30-18. They lost 2 straight prior to that at Coastal and against JMU. So, a big picture to start off. What stands out about this Marshall team?
+9 in the turnover ratio. That's where it starts and ends. And that's where the reason they're 5-5 and in the games the way they are. And it's going to be a big point of emphasis because we're not where we need to be. We're -5. Mm-hmm. And I think they're +9. Yeah, I think that's right.
That's correct.
And so for us, it's simple. It sounds easy, but it's not. But they're being opportunistic, getting takeaways, And there's you look at some of the stats and stuff, there's some leaky yards on defense and those things, but they run the football well. But it's going to start and end with a turnover battle in both sides of the line of scrimmage.
So they have 20 total takeaways on the season. And of those, it's not like they're just getting a bunch of lucky bounces on fumbles. I mean, 13 of their 20 are interceptions.
Yeah.
And so what are they doing? Is it causing a lot of pressure on quarterbacks, or how are they getting so many opportunities to get picks?
Yeah, well, I think Coach Tony does a really good job when he's aggressive and he's going to create havoc on the quarterback. They're not scared to zero blitz. So when they can stop the run and put you in known passing situation, it creates pressure on the quarterbacks. And I think that's where they do the best job, is putting these quarterbacks in second and long, third and longs. We're now known passing situations, 3rd and 7 on the 17-yard line, and they've been opportunistic in intercepting the ball.
So you mentioned Tony Gibson, first-year head coach, defensive background, and he's got that defense playing well. What is typically the identity of teams that he's coached in the past and this year's Marshall team? Is it pressure?
Yeah, it is. Like when you go back and you look at it, and I've never had to compete against him, but even Coach Clyde played him at UNC when he was at NC State and studied him and knew he did a good job. But they'll blitz from anywhere, and they're going to be aggressive, and they'll cover zero blitz you, not just pressures. It's all out pressures. So your quarterback better be great with the checks. He better understand the pressure looks, and as long as you have a plan for those and you can max those things up, there's opportunity there as well.
Yeah. On the offensive side of the ball, the thing that stands out statistically is their rushing offense. They are averaging 206.8 yards per game on the ground. What makes them so effective running the ball?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of the offensive line, good players around them, and it's I feel like some of these games are the rushing. We talked about this a lot. It's the dual threat quarterback.
Yeah.
The ability for that guy to beat you with a zone read. So then it creates conflict for your defensive ends, your linebackers. Are you a squeeze scrape team? Are you going to make him hand it to the back? Do you want him to pull it? So it's 11 guys doing their jobs with good eyes and disciplined and setting an edge of a defense to stop that stuff.
Yeah, Carlos Del Rio Wilson is the quarterback. He's their leading rusher. He's 587 yards, 4 yards a carry, 4 rushing touchdowns. But he takes care of the ball, too. 7 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. So what makes him – I mean, they kind of found their groove because he didn't start the season. He was basically the third-string quarterback at the beginning of the year. Didn't start till game 3, and then it seems like their offense kind of figured it out once he got in there.
Yeah, and sometimes it takes some time offensively to develop an identity, so to say. And, I think they've done a good job finding that. I think it always helps. I thought JMU was kind of the same way. Didn't start off the season fast, but once they kind of settled on a quarterback, and then they started playing around the quarterback, built a system around the quarterback, it's not going to be uncommon in college football for the next – as long as this portal thing is going, is when guys aren't showing up until late, it takes some time sometimes to find some identity. And I think that's why you see some of these things happen a little bit later than normal.
Yeah. Tend to be more of a ball control, time of possession offense because of the way they run and because of the way their defense plays, or they have some big play capabilities as well?
Yeah, they do have. I mean, Marshall's always been a team that can run. They've done a nice job. He lost a lot, obviously, when Huff went to Southern Miss. He wiped that roster out, and Coach Gibson's done a good job of refilling it with some of the talents. They still have some holes that he'll get right, but I think it's always a defensive coach's mentality to run the football, play good defense.
Okay. All right. The opportunity to come back home. I know this means a lot. Been a while since we've been at home for a Saturday game, and weather looks pretty good for mid to late November. I'd say this is pretty good forecast that we've got coming up on Saturday. Going to be a great atmosphere, another great crowd on hand, and I got to think you guys are super excited to get back in front of the home folks.
Yeah, we're excited to get a win in front of the home folks, and it's not just get in front of them. It's like, let's go play well, and let's finish this thing strong. You can't get to a bowl without this one. And obviously our players understand the implication, because 2 plus you get these 2 and you're getting a third opportunity. But it doesn't happen unless you play well this week at home. And our guys are prideful. They're gonna respond the right way. They care about this place. They care about each other. And I know that there's a bad taste in all of our mouths. And and I just have so much faith in this team, the character of this locker room, to show up and play really, really hard for 60 minutes for this crowd.
Can't wait to see it on Saturday, man.
Absolutely.
Appreciate the time. Dowell Loggains joining us on the program. We'll have our player guests coming up when we return to River Street Ale House after these messages. All right, welcome back to the show. It is Mountaineer Talk coming to you on a Wednesday night. Mountaineers and Marshall coming up on Saturday. Our thanks to head coach Dowell Loggains for joining us in the first half of the program. And now we're going to get started with our player guests. Let's give it up to offensive lineman Cayden Sweatt. Let's hear it for him. How you doing, man?
I'm good. How you doing?
Okay, so I got to ask you first. Coach Loggains had a lot of nice things to say about you. Did he leave anything out?
Yeah, I'm his favorite. He loves me. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, it's always good to get a compliment from your coach.
Yeah.
It's always good to hear good things and all your work paying off, and them noticing it. It's good to hear.
How would you describe the relationship that you two have? You guys just seem to click when you're with each other, whether it's on the field, off the field. How would you describe it? Careful, he's looking at you with a critical eye here. Yeah.
He turned his head real quick. I mean, it's good. It's always good to have a good relationship with your coaches, but freshman year I was really, kept to myself, trying to, play it out. But he got here, and he's a great coach, great person, and so I started building that relationship.
You've opened up that personality.
I opened up to him, and now we make jokes, and we're laughing about things and talking about things. We have inside jokes and stuff. So I'll run by him at practice, and I'll crack one every now and then. Then lock back in, on to the next thing.
You feel like you're kind of walking that fine line at times?
A lot of times. A lot of times.
You said you were like this in high school too, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
What kind of player were you like? I mean, give us an idea of your personality when you were in high school and you were the senior and the big important player on the offensive line. What were you like in high school?
I mean, I was just always trying to have fun, It's very memorable. Memorable.
There you go. Yeah.
Senior season with all my best friends. It's a good feeling, but I mean, I always try to have fun too. You never take too much to heart, and try to do that with him too. It's when it's time to lock in, I'll lock in, but crack a joke every now and then, keep it going.
Yeah. Are you the guy that's? How would you describe the way you are when you're just with the offensive lineman? I mean, are you the one trying to keep things light, or are you the one trying to get guys fired up? Little of both.
Little of both.
Okay.
Because I mean, I feel like I don't want to be like the parent of the group. There's always one that's dogging on everyone else. You need that, but there's also you need some lighthearted guys and guys to keep the room light, and not always heavy.
Okay. All right. How would you describe what it's been like playing on the offensive line this year? You've kind of held down that left guard position now for most of the season, but there's been some moving parts with injuries and everything else. So what's the challenge been like in just trying to build that chemistry this season?
I wouldn't say it's been difficult, because I feel like as a group, as a team, you have to be able to just step up. It's been different, I will say. Usually you do have the guys that are getting there and they stick out, like Bucky, Zay. They stayed there. Damien too.
Yeah.
But I will say it has been different. It's not every year you get guys getting hurt like that and they're out for the entire season, and it's been different to try and get the guys to step up. But it's also been different to try and hold my spot down too. I gotta worry about me, but I also gotta worry about the team.
Yeah.
How it's gonna make us look, how it's gonna affect us. Stuff like that. But
so how does that work? Like, let's say you come into the game and Jaden Ramsey was out for the ODU game, and you've got Donnell Nix, who's super talented but just hasn't played a lot yet, and you're playing right there beside him. How do you try to help someone out in that situation when you're out there?
They actually put me as his roommate that week.
Okay.
To try and get him locked in and whatever. And I mean, he's a freshman, but at the end of the day, it was his time to step up, so he had to step up and do what he needed to do for the team, and he played phenomenal.
Yeah.
He's been working his butt off, and but you just got to step up, and he did. And yeah, Landon actually put me with him that week so that I could
calculated. Yeah.
I mean,
not
necessarily babysit, but I mean, it was just kind of like
sure,
it's your time to shine. Like, come on. But
yeah, there you go.
He did so.
So, you play this game long enough, or you play any sport long enough, you're going to be on the wrong end of a game like Saturday, and you're going to be on the right end of a game like Saturday. It's going to happen both ways for as long as you play this game. How do you bounce back from something like that?
Just keep showing up. Like he talked about earlier, he mentioned, getting on Dylan Galloway, and right after that, he asked me to speak, and he asked Colton Ferris to speak the other day. He's trying to get us to kind of step up and be more vocal as a team.
Realizing that it can't just be the coaches, right?
Right. And, I spoke, and I was my main point was just keep showing up. Just keep showing up. Dylan, you're going to get your butt ripped, but keep showing up. It's going to pay off. and you just got to keep showing up.
What choice do you have? I mean, at this point, right? I mean,
show up or quit.
Yeah, you're not going to crawl back into your shell if there's something like that. That's not the way that. It's not the way you get built as a football player and a tough person. And yeah, I mean, that's the way you get formed with this sport, right?
Exactly.
It builds tough people.
You get back up, you get knocked down, you get back up. So.
Yeah, I mean, we had the conversation last week with Coach about how football builds life lessons, and we're going to have a podcast coming out this week talking to some guys from that 2005 team that we're going to celebrate on Saturday, and they talk about just the life lessons they learn in playing football. They went through a really tough season in 2004, and they came back in 2005 because they stuck with it. They kept showing up.
Right.
What kind of life lessons do you think that you'll learn? And I'm not just talking about this year. I'm just talking about the game of football and what you'll carry on when you're a guest on the podcast 20 years from now.
Right. I just think with football, you learn a lot of things that you probably wouldn't learn in your everyday life. And my dad was my coach growing up, and he taught me a lot of lessons and whatever. And I just think football is one of the greatest sports in the world, and you get to learn a lot of things through football, a lot of things about brotherhood, a lot of things that you wouldn't learn on the streets. And I'm very, very thankful that I got to play football, and I get to play football.
Yeah, well, we're thankful that you're here as well. Cayden Sweatt is our guest from the offensive line, and we'll continue with him in just a moment. But we know you're enjoying your time here at River Street Ale House. We appreciate everybody being here for tonight's show, but also want to make sure our audience checks out Town Tavern Blowing Rock for a great dining experience. They're open for lunch, dinner, and later, and have 19 flat-screen TVs to catch the game. They also boast the largest outdoor dining area in the High Country, so make sure to stop by Town Tavern Blowing Rock on your next trip to the High Country. Stay tuned. We've got more of Mountaineer Talk from Ale House, our show presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge, and we're back after these messages. All right, welcome back to Mountaineer Talk. With you from River Street Ale House tonight, we are with Cayden Sweatt. He is our player guest tonight. We're also going to switch over to the defensive line and talk to DeNigel Cooper here in just a little bit. I got to imagine that, have you gone up one-on-one against DeNigel in practice? I mean, interior offensive line, interior defensive line. I know you guys have had some one-on-one battles, right?
Every day.
Every day?
Every day.
And the results are?
He wins, I win.
6-7. The results are 6-7. Okay, yeah.
There's no way.
That's the second time we've done that on this show this season.
You got a bet going?
No, it's just you don't miss an opportunity to get the 6-7 in there. I mean, come on now. Life's about capitalizing on your opportunities.
Oh my goodness.
All right, so what happens when you said mixed results, what makes him so tough to block?
He's a big bull rusher.
Big bull rusher.
He's opened up his game a little bit, so usually I'm used to him bull rushing, so I'll sit down on the bull rush, and then he'll work a move I've never seen him do in his entire time being here, and then I'm like, okay, now I gotta relearn that.
He's always got something new for you.
It hasn't been that, though.
But it has?
Now it has been.
Okay.
He's learning. He's maturing.
Okay. All right.
Growing up.
Gina asked a question on our Facebook stream. Who's the one guy you've looked up to while being at App?
I would say when I got here, it was definitely Bucky.
Bucky Williams?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Big Bucky guy. And I would always ask him questions. Always talk to him. I'm going to his wedding in April. Now I'd probably say Ram.
Jaden? Yeah.
100%.
What do you like most about his game?
I wouldn't say
his game or his approach.
I would say that he continued, like he did. He showed up every day. When he was battling injuries, he was still in there every single day. He's playing through injuries still, and I mean, it's just you can't teach that. That's something you can't, teach somebody to do, and he has a lot of heart for the game, and so.
Yeah, I mean, what does that do to a player or an entire team when you see somebody out there that's clearly having a hard time, clearly playing through pain, but he continues to go out there and give it his all no matter what he's playing through?
I mean, it makes me want to be there for him, too. It makes me want to show up. It makes me want to do those types of things. It makes me want to be like that kind of guy. You want those kind of guys on your team, and he's definitely one of the guys I look up to, 100%. And his effort, his will, his love for the game is something that I admire,
Another question that came in, favorite thing to do in Boone or the high country area overall away from football? You an outdoors guy or what?
I don't know. Probably in the summer we go to the river a lot.
Yeah.
Because it's usually just the football team here. So a lot of times we'll go to the river, we'll hang out all day. In the winter.
Do you fish? I've found that there's a lot of people on this team that fish.
I like to fish too, yeah. But I don't really get to a lot with football. A lot more in the spring, but it's also freezing, so it's kind of hard to. I don't know. Usually I just go home in the winter. I don't know.
You're from a small town in Georgia. What's the one thing you miss the most about home?
I would say my friends. 100%. I get to see them every so often, but I went home for a wedding on our bye week, and it was the best night I've had in a while. And I don't get to see them often. They're all out, in college, working, doing their thing. So when we all get to get back together, it's very special, and it's awesome.
I mean, that's the best. That's the best thing about playing this sport, right? Is the friendships that'll last, and being in each other's weddings and things like that years down the road. I mean, that's a big reason why you do this.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
All right, man. How excited are you to get a chance to be back at the Rock on Saturday?
It's App State. It's at the Rock. It's home. It's another opportunity to go win, and there's nothing that beats it, honestly.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're glad that Coach Loggains' favorite player got a chance to join us here tonight, right?
I hope he left. I hope he didn't hear that.
Oh, I'm sure he's listening on 97.3 on the way back right now. So, all right, man. Appreciate you joining us. Cayden Sweatt, everybody. Before we break, want to say that App State Athletics wants to extend a special thank you to Carolina West Wireless and Window World. They're the game sponsors for Saturday's showdown against Marshall. We appreciate their continued support of App State Athletics. Up next, DeNigel Cooper joins the show. That's when we return to Ale House after this. All right, everyone, welcome back to the show. We're with you for about another 15 minutes as we get set for App State and Marshall coming up on Saturday. Thanks to Dowell, Loggains, and Cayden Sweatt for joining us earlier in the show. Now let's give it up for our next player guest from the defensive line, DeNigel Cooper. How you doing, man?
I'm all right.
Good. Okay. Was Cayden fair to you when we asked what happens in practice when you guys go one-on-one?
Yeah, he was pretty fair. I ain't gonna lie. He wins some. I lose. Oh snap! I'm stuttering. He wins some. I lose some. You know, that's just how football go. You know.
But you win more often, right?
It's pretty even. I'll say because when I first came, Cayden was a dog. I used to always just bull rush. But you know, recently I've been trying new stuff out. So you know.
Okay.
Yeah,
Where have you picked up some of these new things that you've been trying out? Do you watch guys on TV? Like, what do you do in terms of just trying to find new moves?
Nah, when I find new moves from my boys, they always be like, "You gotta start that, do this, try this, do that." Or my coach, you know, he always we work stuff and like we walk through it first and then we get to running through it. You know, and it just started to come natural as you just keep doing it.
Yeah. What has been the progression for you this year? You know, we've seen you now you started 5 games this year. You've been a huge presence on that defensive line. But, you know, you're still kind of young in your college career. So how challenging was the adjustment to get yourself ready to play in this type of speed and environment?
I'll say it wasn't really like too challenging because like our O-line every day, like they come off hard like another opponent. So you know, everything was like it was a lot slower in the game for me actually than actually practice. Because practice, you know, I don't know, everything just moved faster in practice for me. Like in the game, everything was slower. So I mean, it wasn't really that big of an adjustment. I had my boys always was on me. You know, I used to always, you know, thinking I was the young guy, they tell me like you got to grow up. You know, you starting to become a leader type. So you know, my boys are always there for me. You know.
Yeah. Okay. Where do you think your game has grown the most over the course of this year?
I'll say
the new moves that you've been doing.
I'll probably say my game probably grown the most on just knowing what to do.
Okay.
Like, you know, a lot of times last year, you know, being a young guy, you know, I wasn't really taking studying and getting to know the plays as serious as I do now because, you know, I got people actually depending on me. Like last year, you know, I depended on my boys to do it. Now they depending on me, you know, so it just elevating, just knowing what to do, you know, studying.
Yeah. Were you an interior defensive lineman in high school? Has this always been kind of your position, or?
Well, it was like edge, but our little scheme in high school, you get to play like interior a lot. So, okay. I mean, coming to college, it was like I was just an edge, you know, I was an edge type of guy. But I made the transition to, you know, try interior, you know. Yeah, I mean, I'm on the field this year. Last year, you know, it was like.
Yeah, you're on the field. We've seen you in the backfield quite a bit. You blocked a field goal against Georgia State. You ever blocked a kick with your helmet before? Like that thing hit off your helmet, right?
Yeah, it hit my helmet. I just get to looking around, but I never did that before. I think I blocked one kick before, and with my hand, that thing hurt.
A little better when it hit you in the helmet. You got that protection, yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't even see the ball. It just hit my head.
Yeah. So the one thing that somebody told me about you is that you've got maybe better than your average speed when it comes to defensive linemen. How fast can you run?
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I can run real fast, you know. I think I'm like 21, pushing 22, you know, I'm up there, you know. I could move, but, you know, being like a interior guy, you know, it helped me like slanting, but other than that, chasing the ball down, other than that, it ain't really. Yeah. You know, I'm just trying to I'm just thinking about maybe, you know, trying special teams again next year.
Okay.
Getting on kickoff.
Yeah, get a chance to go full speed a little bit more. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, what was it that drew you to this place? What is your why App State story?
Well, when I first came up on my visit, my little brother instantly fell in love with it. I already love the place. I like how it's like a small town, it's like authentic. But my little brother, when he came here, the way they treated my own family and my little brother, it was like.
How old is your brother?
My little brother, he's 9 now.
9, okay.
But back when we came, I think he was like 5.
Okay.
No, that wasn't 4 years ago.
Maybe 7.
Yeah, probably around there. But he was young. But
yeah,
the way they just took my little brother on and he had fun on the visit while I'm over there doing my own thing and letting us get pictures together, it was just like family,
Yeah.
I could just open up and be myself around everybody. So
how would you describe your relationship with your little brother? That's got to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, my little brother loved to play the game, but he always look up to me because he plays sports too. So like that motivate me and drive me, because I got my little brother and my cousin Caleb. They look up to me back at home. They do it because I do it.
Yeah.
They want to be a lot like me, so I'm a role model to them. So I always try to make sure I talk to them, see them, play the game. We'll play Roblox sometimes.
Oh, Roblox!
That might surprise you.
Oh my, no, it doesn't. I have seen the Roblox experience in my house, so believe me,
Yeah,
I get it.
I be on the game with him sometimes, but not lately. But because he got a PlayStation, so he play with his friends. They do what they do now. But,
Yeah.
Sometimes I go play with him. I try to always be around my family and talk to them at least a little bit.
I feel like if either of my sons are watching right now, they're going to want me to ask you for your username in Roblox because they want.
I'll tell you, my little brother and my little cousin call me. They be like, "Oh, can I get this? Oh, can I get this? Can I get this brain rot? Can I get that?" I'm like,
yeah. My son wanted to do some Taco Tuesday thing last night that was on there. I had no idea. It's like I can make some tacos for dinner if you want. Like if that's what we're talking about.
Nah, I ain't been on there in like a month, so I wouldn't even know what he talking about. But I don't know. I used to play Grower Garden, steal a brain rot. Sometimes even get on Fortnite.
Yeah, it's crazy. How much do you talk to them before or after the game? You said I love that you're such a role model to your family members and how they look up to you. But how much do you talk to them before or after the game in terms of like, hey, make sure to do this, or hey, what'd you think about the game, or what'd you think about this or that?
Well, me and my little brother, we don't really talk about like sports like that unless he want to talk about what he got going on. Because like me and my little brother, I always try to keep it like, big brother, little brother, because like he plays sports, but like it's like I always try to talk about like school and stuff with him. So like he had a few times where he got in like some trouble in school, and I'm talking to him about school, But like my little brother, like thing about me and my little brother is he always know that like we talk about games. We don't really talk about football unless like I'm like in person one-on-one with him.
Yeah,
I'm talking about something on this game. But like sometimes I ask him like, did you work out? But I mean like, did you do your push-ups? Because we used to always do push-ups together and stuff. Because my little brother, he always wanted to be great. So
that's great, man. I love that. I love that so much. That's awesome. DeNigel Cooper is our guest. We're going to have a few more minutes with him in just a moment. This segment of the show brought to you by Alumni Hall, the official online store of App State Athletics. Shop the best selection of App State apparel, hats, and gear by visiting Alumni Hall on King Street or alumnihall.com. Earn $10 in Hall cash rewards for every $150 you spend. Alumni Hall, the ultimate Mountaineer shopping destination. More with DeNigel Cooper when we return to Ale House after these messages. Welcome back to the show. It's Mountaineer Talk. We are visiting with DeNigel Cooper in the last few minutes of our show tonight. All right, get to some questions that we also asked Cayden Sweatt earlier in the show. What do you like to do in Boone outside of football?
I ain't gonna lie. I just like to play my mobile game, Brawl
Games,
Stars.
yeah.
I play Brawl Stars religiously. That's my favorite
Brawl
game.
Stars.
It's like a mobile game. I ain't gonna lie. I play that thing religiously. Like I'm like a try hard.
Now I hope my kids aren't listening right now. I don't need another game for them to get. They already got Roblox.
I'll tell you, Brawl Stars is addicting.
Yeah.
That thing is addicting.
Who are your pro sports teams? The teams that you follow? Like, do you watch much in terms of NFL, NBA? Who do you like to follow in sports?
Well, surprisingly, I don't really even watch the NFL like that. Like I more so watch college.
You watch college, yeah.
Always growing up, my family always been like a big Georgia Bulldogs fan. I got homeboys that play on Georgia, you know, like a few of them. So it's like I always try to turn on the Georgia game and see what they doing. And yeah, that's like mainly who I watch, like Georgia. Other than App, yeah, I just watch Georgia. Yeah.
Okay. All right. What's the experience been like for you getting a chance to play at the Rock? I love asking just different perspectives from people in terms of like, this atmosphere is like nothing else. So, what do you experience every time you take that field at home?
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. It's definitely different playing at the Rock. Like I ain't gonna lie. I remember my freshman year coming here. I'm standing on the sideline. I just see people sliding down the muddy hill. I'm like, I'm looking at folks just sliding down the hill. I was like, dang, the crowd rocking. They got the Yosa dude coming out the sky. I'm like, dang.
Zip lining down, you got parachuters, you got drone shows. I mean, it's big time.
And
right?
I seen my homeboys get some hard pictures on the Rock with their arms out. I'm like, and the fans coming up behind them.
Gives you a lot of pride to be able to play a place like this, I would imagine. Yeah. All right, man. I could tell that there's not a whole lot that probably gets you down. So how quickly did tell us about the opportunity to bounce back and how quickly you put last Saturday behind you.
Well, obviously, I can't really just be focused on last Saturday the whole time because that's just gonna bring my mood down for me. Like what that's gonna do for me, trying to move forward. We got to win out these next two games, so that's really just been like the main thing. Like I know we still got a chance. Like it'd be like more sad, boy. If we didn't, but we still got a chance. We still alive. So it's like I try to be more up and just like move on. But like when
how about this? 3 sacks, 2 block kicks on Saturday. How's that sound?
3 sacks, 2 block kicks.
Let's do it. Let's do it. DeNigel Cooper, everybody. That's our show. We got to wrap up here, but we'll see you Saturday at the Rock. Good night, everyone.
You've been listening to has been brought to you by Howard Hanna Allen Tate Real Estate. Hey, Mountaineers! Howard Hanna Allen Tate Real Estate is the official realtor of App State Athletics and the #1 real estate company in the Carolinas. Call Howard Hanna Allen Tate Real Estate today for all your real estate needs. Pepsi. Grab a Pepsi and some friends and get in the game. Pepsi, the official soft drink of your App State Mountaineers. And by UNC Health Blue Ridge, moving healthcare forward.